Okay, this is a test of my new voice recorder that I'm going to use to record MotoVlogs, and also testing out this microphone that I found in my desk drawer. Apparently the microphone that I had before, the lav mic, doesn't work, so this will be in my car and I'll try it in my motorcycle later. I might have to put like a dead cat wrap around it or something, but I'm gonna splice this into a motorcycle ride that I recorded before, but the sound wasn't very good because I discovered that the problem was on my action cam that I got hooked up to my helmet. It records through the microphone and through the camera's microphone, so it's recording all the wind noise over what I was saying in the microphone. Anyway, so for this test, I will tell you a story of when I was working as an intern in college. It was around 1998. I was a junior. No, I was a junior, gonna be a senior. So the summer between my junior and senior year in college, I was working as an intern for a industrial company. Let's put it that way. And I was what you would call a non-traditional student. I served 8 years in the Navy, so I think I was like I was like 27 years old. And anyway, I got a job as an intern for this company, and I worked for the development department, where they were trying new things for customers versus their standard manufacturing process. So I was put under the direction of one of their engineers, and I was basically a gopher and did things that didn't require full engineering knowledge, such as, pushing through production of parts that were being manufactured. Basically babysitting a development part that went through the manufacturing process, because it probably works this way in a lot of companies where you got your normal production that is the bread and butter of the operation, making widgets, and then you have your development department that has like one-off pieces that, instead of going through operations A, B, C, they'll go through A, then D, then back to just to see if they can shortcut things or make the process or product better. And the normal production staff doesn't like this because it draws from their what they call drumbeat, right? If they're supposed to crank out 100 pieces a day, well, that one production piece takes up the time that would take to make maybe 3 or 4 pieces, so that decreases their drumbeat, and they have to report their numbers, and it looks bad but it all comes out in the wash. So if the development group comes up with a process that saves time, it becomes a good thing for the production group, because then they can increase their numbers with the same level of staffing. So that's a little background on what I did at that company. Well, there was an engineer that was hired right about the time that I was hired as an intern. Mind you, I've already had 3 years worth of college, and I've been a mechanic. I've been an aircraft mechanic for 8 years, so I didn't just fall off the turnip truck. Or as they say, I was born at night, but not last night. So anyway, this new engineer was kind of a prima donna. She supposedly graduated from MIT. Ooh, MIT. Woo! You know. Now, granted, I have a lot of respect for people who graduate from MIT or even were able to get into MIT. And I think she got her post-grad master's or something like that from like Boston College or Baylor, I don't know, some highfalutin college. And here I am going to a local state college. So anyway, there were like 5 or 6 other interns, some working for the production group. There was one other intern that I worked with in the development group. He had worked there as an intern, I think, for like 3 years already. So every summer he would work as an intern, and I was the newbie intern. So anyway, one day I get this memo. I didn't have an email or anything, but somehow I was notified that, hey, I need to go see this one engineer. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I go and I'm trying to find this engineer, and she was like in a weird place. It was like upstairs in the mezzanine area that really wasn't an office area, and you kind of had to walk across some wood planks to get to her office. It was strange, but anyway, so I go in there, and there's like 3 or 4 other interns in there, and she goes, yeah, you know, she's talking to the other intern. She goes, yeah, I need you to do this, this, and that. And they're like, okay. And I need you to do this, this, and that, and okay. And then she looks at me and she goes, yeah, can you go collect this data for me? And I'm like, is this for the development group? She goes, no, I just need it done. And I'm like, well, I work for the development group, and we'll call him Bill. Bill is my mentor engineer. I've got things that I need to do for him, and so I need to run it past him before I can, and finish what I need to do for him before I take on any of these duties. And it was all bizarre to me, right? So I said, oh, no, you don't need to talk to him. I have authority over all the interns. So I kind of looked at it as like, well, that's fine. If anything, I just need to give him a heads up that to let him know that, hey, I'll be working on this other project in parallel with working on his project. And she started kind of looking nervous. She goes, well, I can't remember what she said, but somehow she's like, well, if you can't get to it, just let me know and I'll sign it to another intern. I'm like, all right. So I go back downstairs to my department, and I couldn't find my specific mentor engineer, so I go to the department head of development, and his name was Larry, and it's like, hey Larry, who's this lady? Who's this engineer? He goes, oh, I think she was hired a couple of months ago or something like that. He kind of said, yeah, she graduated from MIT, and she's kind of cream of the crop, so to speak. I'm like, she wants me to collect all this data for her, but I'm working for Bill, and so is this something I need to do as a priority, or do I just kind of keep doing what I'm doing? He goes, what? He goes, what? He goes, yeah, she called a bunch of us interns up there and gave us all these tasks, and I was like, I told her I work for Bill, not for her. He goes, yeah, you're right, you work for Bill, you don't work for her. I was like, so do I need to tell her that I'm not going to work on her stuff? He goes, no, I'll take care of it. So apparently, what came about later, after I was done with my internship, and I was talking with the other employees in my group, and said, yeah, she was fired shortly after I had left, because apparently she went up to the hiring manager and said she wanted more money because she was, doing more than any other person, and she had more qualifications than anybody else. And the company was like, well, that's fine and dandy, but if you're not happy here, you might want to explore other options. I don't know if she got fired or they said, maybe this is not a good fit for you. So the whole point of the story is that just because somebody graduated from a prestigious technical college or any college or is well educated doesn't mean they're worth a spit. Let's put it that way. Yeah, other stories that came up said, yeah, all her projects she would pass on to the interns, or try to pass on to the interns, and when she actually had to do something, she was pretty much worthless. And on top of that, she wanted more money. So, in my speculation, I kind of wonder if she really even did graduate from MIT, or if she just, or if her diploma was even legit, given that she was not very capable at the job, even for a new engineer. So anyway, that's all I got for now. Hopefully this recording test works out pretty well. Catch you later. Bye.